Hello everyone, how are you? Welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'll be talking about AWS Lightsail. So AWS Lightsail is alternative for the small projects. So if your application is not that really critical, like not the AI application or very large enterprise applications, so you can definitely consider AWS another instance instead of EC2, which is AWS Lightsail. So, when you provision the workload using EC2, it's not the fix when it comes to the billing. You have to pay as per the uses, right? So whatever your consumptions based on your bandwidth or other parameters, because each single service being charged totally separately on AWS. So you pay separate for storage and connectivity and other component what you're going to be deploy on AWS. It's charging totally different way, and plus it has different costing and different amount on each single options. So if your project is small and if you are looking something fixed, or let's say fixed cost, then what you can do, you can definitely consider AWS Lightsail. And also if you don't want any other complexity like in terms of deploying the workload, like configuring VPC, configuring subnet, configuring firewall and all these configurations, and if you are coming from the simple background, what you can do is you can configure the Lightsail. Lightsail is very user friendly console, and you can create your resources based on your requirement. So let me show you what all options available we have on the Lightsail, how you can create your instance using Lightsail, and how you can deploy your application. So once you log into AWS Console, you just need to type li and you will see the light options here, Lightsail option. I'll click here. You have two ways to open this. You can just directly Google and it will take you to the separate URL lightsail.aws.amazon.com, or you can log in from your AWS and then you can type Lightsail and it will take you to the same URL. So right now I'm here. Now you can see that it's totally a different console. It's not like our AWS console, totally a different console. You can see it's very simple console. There is not much options available like how we have available on AWS console. So now let me show you what all you have options here. So first you see that you have on your left side, you will see the instance. So that's where you create the instance. In AWS console we say EC2, and here it's an instance. Okay, elastic container or elastic compute you can say, but here it's instance only directly. Elastic, that means something is easy to change, easy to modify or easy to update. It's elastic. But the instance, it's not elastic, so you can do some changes but not like EC2. Like if you want to upgrade your CPU, memory, storage, you will get more flexibility doing things on EC2, but in instance it's a fixed one. So that's the instance options. Then you have container. You can directly create a container from here if you want to create a container. Database as a service, you can directly create your database from this console. The networking, you can definitely create the networking portion here, like your static IP, your distribution, which is content delivery network, your load balancers. These three primarily options available on AWS console.aws. You have much more options and much more options available inside the feature. Let's say load balancer. Inside the load balancer you will find many options to create the load balancer, or many features like application load balancer, network load balancer, and inside that also you have many more rich options available here, but it's something here very simple. Click on the storage. On the storage you see you have two options. One you can create is S3 bucket. It's similar like our S3 bucket, and you have a disk that you can attach directly to your instance. You can manage your DNS and you can register the domain from here, and the snapshot option available. So let's say if you have any small application and whatever the component you required to go live or to publish that application on internet in the secure manner, those options are available here. Minimum options, I can say, not all the options. If you talk about enterprise applications, I will not recommend to put your enterprise application on this platform. It is something that, say, if you are new, or if your application is new, or if you are testing in the market, let's say your application is e-commerce application and you just want to launch and test it, and you don't want to spend a lot of money on your hosting platform, you can go and you can use this platform But as you growing, as you getting more users or more traffic, you need more elastic environment. Elastic means the environment which can easily can go scale up and scale down, and also both level scaling, like horizontal scaling and vertical scaling. Horizontal scaling means what? Let's say if you have one instance, and if you want to upgrade your CPU, memory and storage without disturbing your applications, that's something you talk about scale up. Scale out means what? Let's say you have one VM, and if you want to increase the number of VM as your traffic grow or as your load grows, so that's something you can say scale out. So your one VM can go to 5, or if let's say you have one container, from one container it can go to 10 container, 12 container, and it will reduce by itself. Means scale up and scale down will happen in the fractions and in automation way. So that's total elastic option you will get from AWS console only. Or you talk about any public cloud like Google, Azure, so those core elastic features or like hyper scalar DNS that you will get from their native platform. This Lightsail, as per my understanding, this was the separate company. If I am not wrong, it was acquired by AWS, and now basically it's both are two separate entity, but somehow they are under the Amazon umbrella. That means the data center definitely will be same, but you will not get the same region what you are getting on your AWS console. You will be definitely getting some limited region. I'm sure the performance wise, the server also, which is like backend infrastructure, if I'll talk about, it will not be the same backend infrastructure, it will be totally different infrastructure. That's what my assumption is, because the costing is really different. The costing really matters. And you know, when you pay more, you get something more definitely. And if you pay less, definitely the infrastructure is totally different. Because you know, for good infrastructure, you need to pay good. If your infrastructure is not that amazing, definitely you will save a lot of money, right? So let me show you how you can create the instance here. So now what I'll do, I'll just click here, create instance. Now you can see the first options I have here is instance location. I have an option here to change my location. So I'll click change Amazon region and availability zone. I'll click here. You see all the options I have. And now definitely, you know, the experience you see is totally different. It's not like what we are getting on AWS console. I have two options here. I can select the Linux and Windows. When I select the Linux, I have pre-configured options or images available here. So you don't need to manage. Let's say if I have application or website which is WordPress build website, or let's say I need the LAMP if my website is PHP, you get Magento in case if you have Magento. So you don't need to separately deploy the OS and then you deploy the application. This is one thing I really liked about it, because it's configured. If you really want to go to the market quickly, or if your code is ready, you just need, you know, the things here, just select, put your code and you go. So let's say if your web server, I'll just select the Nginx. So I don't need to deploy the OS and select the Nginx on top of it. It's already there. The version is also there, 1.2, 1.28.1. That's the Nginx version. You select and you getting Plesk and cPanel option. You know, still there are so many developers, they really prefer cPanel because, you know, it's very easy to manage. You get lot of options ready. You don't need to manage any OS level thing. But disadvantage with cPanel is that, guys, the cost, because you need to pay separate cost for the license and they are charging for per user. So that's something I really don't like about cPanel. And these days you get so many material, even if you want to put your code, if your web server, when it comes to scalability, I don't prefer to go with cPanel, because you'll not get that scalability that what you are getting with native flavor. Let's say if I go with Nginx, definitely I have more, from the configuration side, there will be some extra effort that is required. But these days we have lot of material available. Even troubleshooting is made easy with help of AI tools. Before, I know troubleshooting was nightmare, specifically when you want to put your code with Nginx, do some configurations, modify with SSL related stuff, reverse proxy. So it was quite challenging, I can say. Troubleshooting also was time consuming, but now you get the logs, put it on your agent, modify, check the things. So analyzing the things or analyzing the root cause, it's way easier than before. So I would really recommend not to go with cPanel. And because another disadvantage I see is that with any platform you will use which is not native, or which is not, let's say, giving you, the OS related, and you will not get the OS output. So there will be penalty from the performance penalty from the, let's say, platform itself. Let's say cPanel. So cPanel itself required some kind of CPU memory on those VMs. I hope I'm able to make some sense over here. And if you are from the same background, I'm sure definitely you are able to correlate this. Once you select the Nginx, then you get options here, blueprint provider. So these all are blueprint. So you have two options. We have blueprint directly available from Lightsail, or you can select the Bitnami as well. So when I select the Bitnami, so Bitnami is the largest blueprint provider for AWS. So when you go even from AWS marketplace, whatever images you are seeing, like for Windows, for the Linux, for you name it, whatever OS related you see, that's something is being provided by Bitnami, and Bitnami is well known for that. I'll quickly take you to Bitnami to give you just more about it. I think now it is acquired by Broadcom. Wow. So now it's like sister concern for VMware. So you can see that Bitnami is keeping all those things. So Bitnami secure images, gain the confidence. Yeah. So now all images are provided by Bitnami, and even if you are building your own platform, you can take the Bitnami API, you can integrate with your own platform, and you can provide. So advantage over here is that if you select the Bitnami, what advantage you will get is that you will have the same images what is available on AWS Console. And if you select the Lightsail, it's totally separate. It's managed by Lightsail only, and you can go and create it. Usually I'm not really concerned about it, because as I'm getting just Nginx and I'm fine for it, regardless if it is a Bitnami or Lightsail. I don't think so if there is any difference in that. In my case, if it is Nginx, I just select, and then here you have option to select your key. So let's say, when we deploy the resources on the console, like on AWS Console, so we select the key to access it. So I'll just go ahead and create one key over here, and I'll put the Nishant key. I'll generate the key here. I'll download this private key on my laptop. I'll say save, and I have other options here, what type of instance I need. So there is a two option, one is general purpose and the second one is memory optimize. I'll select, and both you getting two different options. If you select the general purpose, you can see that below the options, or the options configurations or the profile getting changed. So now I'll just select the general purpose, and you can see what all options I have. So now you see, as I told you, it's a fix. So in $5, what you get is you will get 512 MB memory, 2 vCPUs, 20 GB SSD, and 1 terabyte transfer. This is really cool. So imagine in just $5, you can run your small code. If you have a small website, if you have a small program that you want to run, or your code is really light, you can go and you can use it. If it is small web server just for the information related thing, this is one of the cheapest options available, and in the very secured platform. So you don't need to provision your workload on any cheap hosting. There are many cheap hosting available, but the challenge with those cheap hosting is the security. I have been using Lightsail for my small projects, and I have never faced any issue related to security. I am very satisfied. I never had issue related to any ransomware attack, any compromise, and nothing. Somehow I felt it's somehow secured by Amazon only. So you have that trust from the Amazon, and it is on the back side also, it's same infrastructure, or let's say you can say it's a big under the big name. So definitely there are some kind of the quality assurance is there. So you can select the $5 based on your need. You have different options, $5, $7, $12. So this is really cool. This way you can control your cost. You will away from that surprising billing. It's very nice. I'll put $5 here. I'll put my instance name Nginx 1 and I'll just select create. So now it's creating my instance. You can see from the status it's creating, it's starting. It will take some time, and to publish this one on the internet I required static IP address, right? So what I'll be doing, I'll click network, and once this instance is up and running, I think right now still it is starting, so let it start. And then I have option here networking. In the networking, what I can do is that I will say create static IP address, and I will attach this IP address with Nginx 1, which is my instance, and I'll say public IP for web, because if you want to go live on the internet you require your unique identity on the internet, and that you can get from your IP address. So you just say public IP, and now this is your public IP address 54.255.85.119, right? So this is my public IP address which is attached with this particular instance. I'll click on instance, and now once I click there I will see all the details. To make sure that this IP address is available on internet, I will just type this IP address. Yeah, because I typed the HTTPS. So now you see that the Nginx is ready, it's available on internet. And one thing you notice that I really did not make so much of configuration, very simple configuration. I just select the my requirement, I select the IP address, I select the amount which I want to pay, and that's it. Here you go. Same IP address you can configure with your domain. You can point your A record and you can go live within next 5 to 10 minutes. Now once you access this one, just change you can access you can RDP this particular one. You can SSH this particular, in my case it's a Linux, so I'll click SSH. I'll go here. So default, it's etc Nginx site that's available. I'll go inside, let me see what all options I have. Yeah, so this is my default parameter, you can see. Let me see my default file, which is nginx.conf, right? And you can, now you have access, you can definitely put your code here, replace with the default Nginx directory and use it. So it's very easy and very easy to use. Now you can even SSH using WinSCP, or you can SSH using PuTTY, and you can put your code. So it's very easy, guys. In case if you want to manage your DNS, you can create the DNS here, and this is all options available you have here for Nginx. Thank you so much to watch my video, and thank you so much again to visit my channel. Please subscribe, stay tuned, let's connect, let's learn together, and thank you so much. Goodbye, see you, take care, bye bye.